Zen Ray here. Welcome, Nick Nation, my band of brothers. And if I had to take a guess, Quickly will be gone. Quickly will be gone in the deal.
I think it'll be both. I think it'll be Grimes and Quickly.
I don't think so. I think if it's going to be one or the other, and I think
we're not talking. We're not talking about role player here. We're talking about Donovan Mitchell. Danny Ainge is going to ask for Obi, and I'll agree with you. I don't think we're going to give up Obi Toppin. But yes, guys, ladies and gentlemen, get it through your Nick. Let's get it through our Nick Nation head. Quentin Grimes quickly can be in a package, and McBride with some draft picks.
Trying to hear that bullshit.
Yeah, you're trying to get Donovan Mitchell for peanuts. It's not going to happen, Papa. It's not.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You think Leon? What's Utah interested in you in? They want the picks. They want to save face, and they want to get a couple of young guys here.
So you're going to turn away? You're going to make picks?
I don't know if they'll give them 8, but you think they're going to turn away from 6 unprotected picks? There's no way. There's no way.
How many did they get for? How many did they get for Rudy Gobert? They got 5 for Rudy Gobert with three players. So you're telling me they're going to take 6 picks and a Quentin Grimes and an Evan Fournier, and they should be and a Cam Reddish, and that should get the deal done. But I think 2 out of the 3, and I say 2 out of the 3 youngsters. I'm not even including McBride. So if you want to get technical, I'll say 2 out of the 4.
You don't need McBride technically. You don't need him. Think about it.
2 out of the 4 youngsters, the prime youngsters, because I'm not including Cam Reddish, are going to be going in that package. I in my gut, I'll tell you guys that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Grimes and Quickly, or Grimes and McBride, or Quickly and McBride. It's going to be something to that effect, 100%.
It's going to be Cam, Quickly, and McBride in that trade. Keith Turner, not here to defend Randall, but Tibbs is much to blame for Randall's failures. Bad rotation, playing Burks at point guard, playing players out of position. No help for RJ, who was so inefficient along with the others. Well, I agree with you, but you can't really blame Tibbs. He had no point guard, number one. His mistake was giving Randall all this responsibility. But yeah, I could understand what you're saying, Keith. If you don't have a point guard and you let Randall run the team, bringing the ball up and being the man, because the year before he says, I'm here. That makes him a man who has the last call on the team. He's like he was the coach on the floor as well, because he was out of control, and Tibbs didn't make him accountable for anything, Keith. So, Keith, I understand what you're saying. The rotation with Burks at point guard, not playing Deuce, I agree with you. Burks, that was horrible coaching. So, yes, I can agree with you. Tibbs coaching, the way he coached Randall, and the way he coached the team by bringing Burks when you had a Quickly and you had a McBride on the bench. Those were fireable offenses. You had a chance to do something special with this young team, and you didn't do it. Thank you, Henry. Those are the good old days, Henry. That's when we had the fire. And I think if we get we get Donovan Mitchell here, that's the kind of fire this Knicks team is going to have. Remember, you saw the video. Brunson is a NYC dog. He's a dog. He's going to do everything he needs to do to get this team moving forward. So watch out, Nick Nation. Frederick Weiss was the worst bust in New York history.
Agree.
Yeah, that should have been a fireable offense. That was Scott Layden who drafted him? I think it was Scott Layden. I know it was Isaiah Thomas, and I know it wasn't Checkets. I think that was Scott Layden Nick Nation. Let me know who was the GM Frederick Weiss draft. I think it was Scott Layden. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was Checkets or Isaiah Thomas.
I'll put that as the worst draft pick.
Keith Turner, no way we get Donovan without Obi. It's just not going to happen. Keith, I'm not a betting man. Leon Rose will walk away from the deal. He will walk away, and we'll build the team that we have now. We have Brunson leading the ship. You have an attachment to that pick. You want to make that work. It makes you look like a genius, and you're going to just trade that and throw that away, Keith? He's not being traded. I can almost guarantee you.
Keith, I will tell you this, buddy. I was kind of on with your mindset on that. I'm back and forth with it. I don't want it to happen, but I will say this: if this trade doesn't happen, and like Zenray says, Leon Rose walks away, he better count his lucky stars, and he better pray that Brunson and Julius Randle and everybody else has an all-star year, and they make it to the playoffs, because I can guarantee you, and I'm not a betting man, if the Knicks come and they don't get Donovan Mitchell and they repeat what they did last season, Tom Thibodeau, Leon Rose, and Worldwide West will all be fired. We'll get Donald Trump, which we're not even going to get into that, to sit there and say, you're fired 100% if they don't make a trade. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that's too much of an extreme, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Listen, we can disagree. We can agree to disagree. Keith, I have much respect. And if that's what you think, and Keith Turner says Donovan Mitchell ain't free, well, we ain't getting him for free. We're giving you 6 unprotected first rounders and maybe a 7 at best. That's not free. You're giving young talent with that as well. So you think that Danny Ainge is going to walk away from that? He's not going to walk away from 6, 7 first rounders. And you're going to throw him some talent anyway. You tell me a Cam Reddish is not talented? You telling me McBride is not talented? Look, Keith, we can agree to disagree. Obi Toppin is not leaving New York in any kind of trade.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
No one wants to hear that. At least I don't want to hear it. Keith Turner is adamant like Juby, like Obi has to go in that deal. Why does he have to go in that deal?
No, I didn't say Obi has to go in that deal. I just said you can't give a Cam Reddish, Evan Fournier, and 5 draft picks and say that's going to work. This is Donovan Mitchell. Say what you want about him. Like, you guys are making it sound like he's a Charlie Ward, even though I love Charlie Ward. I'm just saying, like, this is not a superstar, but he's a star. Like, you got to give something up to get a star. You're not going to get a bag of chips and a chopped cheese and 4 draft picks for Donovan Mitchell. It's just not going to happen, guys. That's just my opinion.
Listen, I
agree with you. Obi Toppin shouldn't go in that deal.
I tell you, Isaiah Thomas, Scott Perry, Scott Layden would have made this trade last week, and we would have been massacred. Leon Rose is a different type of cat. Un gato inteligente. He's a smart cat. He's just not gonna give away the farm. Donovan Mitchell's a great player, but we still have enough assets to satisfy him. Danny Ainge's problem is he's going for the gusto. He wants to take everything that the Knicks built in the last 2.5 years, and you're just going to give that away? Yes, Donovan Mitchell is a great talent. He's not a superstar. Now, if we were talking about LeBron James or Michael Jordan, we're talking about a Larry Bird, a Magic Johnson. That is totally different. Then you can say to me I'm crazy. But Donovan Mitchell is not this type of superstar. He's a star. He's going to make the team better. Offensively, he has a lot of work defensively. He has a lot to prove. And I think he can become an all-star. But are you going to give all these assets for a star player? Nick Nation, come on. Leon Rose is building this for the last 2.5 years. And for you to say, Juby, that he's going to get fired because he didn't get Donovan Mitchell, you have to make a stand some way somehow.
What I said, Nick Nation and Zenray, is if they do not pull this trade, which is because he's asking for too much, 100%, if they repeat what they did last season and they're back in the draft picking at 12 or 11th, yeah, he'll be fired. We got assets, but here we are fighting for the 12th seed in the lottery tournament. Come on, Nick Nation. But I've been a Knicks fan since 1989. And for the last 15 years, I'm sick and tired of people telling me, well, let's build through the draft. Let's do this. And I've been through the whole, we got Obi Toppin. We got Quentin Grimes. We got all the players. We got them. We got good players. We got a foundation. I'm not saying to blow up the foundation for one player, but you got to give up something to get a piece. But I will tell you, and I'm going to keep saying this, we don't make any strides towards progression. Even if we don't pull off this trade, something needs to be done. I'm not with that whole let's keep building from the draft and let's be a lottery team. We got 12 picks for the next 10 years. Nah.
You think Danny Ainge is a reasonable negotiator?
He's an assassin.
Okay, exactly. So are you going to let him take advantage?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm
by
not saying
taking
that.
our assets and picks and players? Juby, you have to make a stand with this guy. He's going to come running back. There's no team in the NBA that can offer what the Knicks can offer. Listen, I respectfully disagree with you and Keith, but You have to make a stand. You have to draw a line on the sand. Chuby, I understand
Listen,
where you're coming from. The frustration of Nick.
I stand with you with Obi Toppin 100%. Nick Nation, Zenray, I don't want to give up Obi. Obi should not be in that deal. But for us here to sit here and say, well, we don't want to give up Obi. We don't want to give up Grimes. We want to give them Quickly and Cam Reddish, who hasn't done anything, who didn't play last season, who has the potential to be something. We want to give them Cam Reddish, Emmanuel Quickly, and 6 draft picks, and that should get the deal done. And Evan Fournier. It's not reality, guys. If you want to keep Obi, let's do it. I'm with it. But do expect Quentin Grimes to be part of that deal. You can't have everything. You got to give up something. What you're gonna give up? That's all I gotta say. You have to give up something.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
It's all right. Enough is enough.
I understand Nick's frustration. Just because we're frustrated, we're gonna make a kind of move that can set the team back for who knows how long.
Never give up. Never give up. Knowing that the best is yet to come with love, peace, and gratitude.